system to make it smarter and fairer and easier for your officers to do their job safely and effectively. Now, this is not an easy conversation to have. First of all, we all care about keeping crime rates low, and things have been working, and so a lot of folks say, what's the problem? But for generations, we've had African-American and Latino communities who've pointed to racial disparities in the application of criminal justice, from arrest rates to sentencing to incarceration rates. And all too often, those concerns, no matter how well documented, have been brushed aside. And we can't have a situation in which a big chunk of the population feels like maybe the system isn't working as well for them. At the same time, too often, law enforcement gets scapegoated for the broader failures of our society and our criminal justice system. And I know you do your jobs with distinction no matter the challenges you face. That's part of wearing a badge. But we can't expect you to contain and control problems that the rest of us aren't willing to face or do anything about. Problems ranging from substandard education to a shortage of jobs and opportunity, an absence of drug treatment programs, and laws that result in it being easier in too many neighborhoods for a young person to purchase a gun than a book. So, if we're serious about protecting our communities and supporting our police departments, then let's invest in more opportunity and let's try to stop more crime before it starts. Let's go after the racial disparities at the root. One study found that every dollar we invest in pre-K, in universal pre-K, early childhood education, we save at least twice that down the road and reduce crime. Getting a teenager a job for the summer may cost some money, but it costs a fraction of what it will cost to lock him up for 15 years. It's not enough to tell our young people that crime doesn't pay if they have no prospects at all. We've got to make sure they grow up knowing that hard work and responsibility pay off, and that they've got other paths available to them. For those who do break the law, we do have to take a hard look at whether, in all circumstances, punishment fits the crime. Now, I want to be clear about this. Right now, America is home to less than 5% of the world's population, but about 25% of its prisoners. Now, plenty of them belong there. I don't have sympathy for dangerous, violent offenders. I don't have sympathy for folks who are preying on children. I've got 2 daughters. I care about making sure these streets are safe. So this is not some bleeding heart attitude here. Violence is real in this city and around the country. And I've seen firsthand the devastation the drug trade has wrought on individual lives and entire communities. And I believe that those who peddle drugs need to be punished. I don't think decriminalization is some panacea. You know, down in West Virginia, you'd hear stories of families where these are good folks whose children were getting caught up in drugs, and young people suddenly overdosing 3-4 times, getting caught up in the criminal justice system themselves because they were hooked. But it's also important for us to acknowledge that our prisons are crowded with not only hardcore violent offenders, but also some non-violent offenders serving very long sentences for drug crimes at taxpayer expense. And it's important to acknowledge that having millions of Black and Latino men in the criminal justice system without any ability for most of them to find a job after release, and most of them will eventually be released, that's not a sustainable situation. It is possible for us to come up with strategies that